Peace and blessings. Happy Wednesday. Today I want to talk about some things today I've actually seen, and it's a beautiful day outside, man. You want to get outside and enjoy being outside. It's a beautiful day today, so that's what you want to do. You really want to enjoy just being outside today. So today I was watching something on Instagram or Facebook, and I seen DC Metropolitan Police, I guess, was trying to take a young man into custody, right? And as we see him taking him into custody, granted, guys, you should understand that a police officer's job is very stressful, right? And granted, I'm not saying that I'm big on the police, but then we all should know that they got a job to do just like everybody else, right? So when you kind of like, in a sense, when they trying to do their job and everything, and you kind of just, get in the way of them doing their job. But the sad part that I had seen, that they had a young man in cuffs, in custody, right? You will see a couple of some regular officers out there. But the thing of it is, they had a white shirt, and a white shirt, if people don't know what a white shirt is in DC, when you come to Metropolitan Police, they are people with high rank. Could be a captain or a sergeant or a lieutenant, right? What you see is the man is being cuffed. The young man is cuffed behind his back. They got him pressed against a car. But what they was doing also was the police officer was pepper spraying him while he was handcuffed. The threat is most definitely gone. So when you got a man handcuffed like that, you got a man handcuffed like that, why would you need to keep on striking a man, right? And then you trying to figure out why did a full or brawl broke out, and you would think that police officers, like they said, that to even be a police officer, I think you got to have like a first or second year of college or whatever. They're not just letting anybody be a police officer, especially in the District of Columbia, right? And the crazy part is this. You will see all these police officers didn't use, all they was just using was force, right? And granted, the crowd started getting a certain type of way, so they had to use force. But they don't know how that could have went so left and would have never went back right. For all the things going on, people stressed out and everything, and for you to literally be on in public and people pulling out their phones and recording you, right? This is where you would have to look at, DC police. You guys need more training, right? And then the leadership that you actually have. I'm not knocking the captain of police, because I seem like that she's a really good captain. She seemed like that, she's boots on the ground. She's, I can't give her no bad reviews right now, because I've noticed that she's always been boots on the ground. Whenever something come up, she don't be in her office or anything. She comes to the scene or whatever, right? But what do you guys think about the situation that, it's been all over social media, that they pretty much got into a brawl out in public, right? I mean, they was fighting and everything. You would see the young guy piece up the police officer, the white shirt officer. Now, that he gonna have what they call a threat on a police officer's life. So he got a charge on top of that, but it could have been de-escalated by just, everybody just would have been, letting them do their job or everything. The father did not want them to lock up his son. And I get it, I got sons and I got daughters, but at the end of the day, when they doing something criminal and they investigating, you don't get involved in that. What we got to start doing is using, greatest of intelligence, right? A lot of the things that we honestly do, we don't think about before we react. And I think a lot of times in my life, as I was young, 18, 19 years old, I would react. And then later on, the consequences will come on me to bite me in the ass, right? So as I'm a little older now, I kind of like now, think things through before I react. Because a lot of times, when you react, sometimes you can get some bad consequences and reaction of, sometimes it could just be, lack of communication. So today I'm gonna move off this topic. Today I want to give you guys a little bit of insight or what I've been doing today. Like I said before, we open up a new car wash. It's called Touch of Love and Me. So what we've been doing is we looking for people. If you got any type of skills in tinting windows, man, hit me up. If you are professional at tinting windows, I ain't talking about you just tint windows, man, around in the homies way or nothing like that. I'm talking about professional. I have a spot for you at my spot that you could come in and tint windows or whatever. But today I went to a couple of sign places to get my advertisement for my business, right? And I went to a place on New York Avenue. They was closed. Then I went to another place called Fast Signs, and they pretty much was a little decent. Their prices wasn't that bad and stuff like that. And I wanted to give a personal play-by-play start on me open up this business, right? I always tell people the first thing that you gotta have is a vision, right? Martin Luther King said, "Man without a vision will perish," right? And then also too, I'll quote the latest Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey said, "Man, if you ever want to see a clear future, you gotta leave that past shit alone," right? So when I mean the past stuff, you shouldn't be a 40, you shouldn't be a 30-something-year-old man still trying to, chase them street dreams, because at the end of the day, that's not gonna happen, right? That is so designed to actually put you in prison or put you in a grave, right? Unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way because nobody ever told me that, the end results of what you're doing is probably death or jail. I didn't die, but I felt like I was dead to doing that 9, 10 years, But all things, man, God, the greatness of God, he pretty much, man, he knew. You know what I'm saying? He knew that at the end of the day, this wasn't something I was going to be doing forever. And I think he had a greater call. But I think my greater call is I watched a lot of young black men in this city, get caught up in, a lot of illegal activity. And I'm telling you guys, speaking from me to you guys, I'm talking about from every street corner to every block and everything. Brothers, leave that stuff alone, man. That's not, listen, granted, you know how many people that's sitting in federal prison, man, with life sentences or 10 or 15 years for that little bit of stuff? You got to think about it. We don't bring it over here. These government agencies bring that stuff over here. Then when we get it, we thinking, we going to make some money out of it. Then we start, there's no more money in the streets, right? And if you honestly, right now today, want to be a street guy, I'm going to tell you exactly what are you doing, right? I'm going to give you an analogy, right? The analogy is this. Say if a person was outside of your window, throwing a rock at your window, trying to get your attention, keep throwing a rock, a pebble, just keep throwing it, keep throwing. So next thing you know, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna look outside and be like, hey, why does this person keep throwing a rock? That's what it is when you out there, man, you trying to be out in these streets, you throwing a rock at the penitentiary. And eventually they're gonna open the door and they're gonna let you in. And then once you get a chance to go in, you're going to figure out that this ain't something that you want to turn on and off like a light switch. Once you get sentenced, you can cry to mommy, you can cry to daddy, you can cry to your lawyers, you can cry to the prosecutor, you can even write to the judges. But under a certain guideline of whatever you into, you fall under that guideline. For me, I was under the mandatory minimum 10 years or better for my charge, right? I never got caught with anything. They never had me on no wiretaps and stuff like that, but it was just people who literally was going to the feds telling about me, right? Giving up information or whatever. And honestly, man, I always say, I know I had to lead a street life alone because, one of my guys had said to me when I came home in 1998, there's no honor amongst thieves, right? And when he said that, I was like, what do you mean by no honor amongst thieves? What he mean by is the people that's out here now these days, they're turning their mother, their daughter, their girl, anything to get not prosecuted for whatever charge they caught, right? But then you got to think about it in this note. If you ain't a street guy, stay your ass on the sidewalk, right? That's what they make sidewalks for, right? So at the end of the day, what comes with that life is a bunch of headaches, heartaches, and stuff like that. I remember when, before, when I was out there, in my mind, I had already said this because I come from what they call a cycle of people in my family just not good activity, right? criminal activity, stuff like that. And one of the things that I had kind of recognized that I was just like, when I went through prison, I was like, man, these dudes like going through this. You know, when somebody could tell you when to eat, when to sleep and stuff like that. But I had made a vow though, right? I ain't gonna never forget this. I was 1901 D Street Southeast. If anybody know what 1901 D Street Southeast, if you ain't from Washington, D.C., 1901 D Street Southeast is the district jail. That's the jail that house all the District of Columbia people that commit crimes and stuff like that. I actually was there waiting for the feds to come pick me up, right? But one of the things I did recognize when I was there, a lot of the people that was incarcerated was minorities, right? And we do know that a lot of times, you know, minorities get the bad end of the stick when it comes to the criminal justice because we don't have these lawyers where you can spend all this money. Well, I could speak for me. I spent $250,000 for a lawyer for me and my brother, God rest his soul, Rick Love. But that didn't work because at that particular time, I was under a mandatory minimum. And this is where these lawyers, they supposed to have your best interest. Knowing I was under a mandatory minimum and what they said that they was charging me with, it was no way that I was going to beat that charge, right? And then also, too, they had took some property of mine. And the way that they had it set up was I could post a bond for my property, right? A home and a couple of cars and stuff like that. But the key to that, when I was reading the paperwork, they were saying if you lose the drug case, you automatically forfeit your property, right? So I'm thinking in my mind, man, you can have this shit. I don't care about that. I mean, you know, I come from the hood. So at the end of the day, I'm not really tripping off of that, right? But the valuable lesson I did learn from that situation is, Mark, you're way more intelligent than, you know, at the end of the day, I think it was more just the neighborhood I grew up in, right? And at the end of the day, when I worked the job and stuff like that, they really wasn't paying that. So I'm watching some of my friends, they doing their thing or whatever. So I jumped out in the streets and everything. And I could say for me, I can't speak for everybody, but I was good at what I was doing. And I didn't look at what I was doing like a street dude. I was looking at it like I was running a 500 Fortune company, like if I was running Walmart or Target or whatever. I had rules and regulations about what I did, right? I wasn't the type of dude that, man, would go out here and, you know, if I had a friend, his mom or his dad was on drugs, I would tell my guys, man, whatever you do, if it's he a friend of ours, if his mom or his dad come to you, want to buy anything, don't sell him anything, right? And then if I did catch you selling anything that's somebody's mom, because I had a mom and my friends got moms and dad, how would you feel if somebody was selling something to your mother or your father? So to keep all the drama down, I would just tell my guys, listen, man, you know, all money ain't good money, and your friends or your friend mother or father, you know, you don't need their money, man, because at the end of the day, you know, they gonna get it from somebody. That's how you looking at it. Well, if they don't get it from me, they gonna get it from somebody else, but not let it be you then. Because if you got a respect for your friend or you got a young female, her mom or her dad on it, you know, out of respect for her, you want to say, nah, I don't want to do that, right? So honestly, right now, I'm kind of looking at some things that I want to speak upon, right? You know, a lot of us, we always sitting back talking about how, you know, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, man. You know, at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words, right? Moving on this new adventure, this new journey. It's not really a new journey because this is my second business that I opened. It was a car wash, and I pretty much got a blueprint of the way I want to set. So this weekend coming up, I'm going to be painting in the inside. We're going to go put some 75, 80-inch TVs in. We're going to have places where we can actually do podcasting. So we want people to come in, tap in, you know what I'm saying? Come support us, man. You know, what we're going to do is we're going to have car washing, and plus we're going to have detailing. I think what we're going to do is schedule detailing on certain parts of the day. But I'm just kind of looking forward to the new adventure. Like I said once before, go back to iterate about what I said in the beginning. If you know someone that's tinting windows on vehicles and you want to make some money and you want to join up with me, just hit me up. inbox me or call me and say, hey, Mark, man, I not temp windows or whatever. You can come. Matter of fact, I'll probably let you come in and, man, pretty much as long as you do good work, you can come in and do your thing. That's just what I'm looking for. But then also, too, we looking for people that can handle social media management, because between me running a business, and not just one business, but multiple different businesses, right? A lot of times it's kind of like hard to keep up with a lot of stuff. So I know as time going on, I'm gonna probably need an assistant, right? Because I can't really handle a lot of these things I'm doing right now, because between being the face of a business and then on top of that building a business, I want to be there every day to greet all my customers, the people that actually is supporting us, right? Tell me what you think. Tap in, subscribe, go to YouTube, like, because I'm trying to build this channel. I'm not doing this, just like I said before, I'm not doing this to be famous or try to, walk out here and want everybody to notice me and all that. No, I don't care about none of that. But I do want to speak about the things that's going on in my community, right? Because if anything that was going to be fixed in our community, we have to fix it because we broke it, right? There's some, measures that they put in place, but now that the measures are not put in place anymore, now we need to come up with a blueprint to fix it, right? And one of the things that I want to challenge all business owners, Black-owned business owners from small to big businesses, man, help out some of these smaller businesses, right? For me, a lot of the businesses that I had started, I never had anybody to walk me through it. I had to learn through trial and error, right? So I want to make it a little bit more easier for the next generation of entrepreneurs. I want to show you how you can set up an LLC. I want to show you how you can get a tax ID number. I want to show you how you can pretty much do accounting. I want to show you how to do advertisement. And then the main thing is this, right? When it comes down to customer service, you got to look at all your customers as how you would treat yourself, right? I love me, right? And plus on top of that, when I go somewhere to support someone, I try to give, or I want the best service that's possible, right? I want you to be attentive. I don't want you to be, if I'm trying to do business with you on the phone, you texting, all that type of stuff. People got to get out of that. Like even with these kids now these days, you could be in the home with them. And if you got an upstairs, downstairs, or basement, instead of just coming downstairs and having a general conversation with your mom, your dad, and grandma, you texting. Like, come on, I get it. That's the new generation, but this is the reason why some of the things out here is so effed up, because of this new generation of social media and everything. People are losing their communicational skills, because if you and somebody sitting in the house together, you should not basically want to text somebody in the same household with you. Get up, put your phone down, charge, and go have a conversation. So tell me what you think. Like I said before, man, like and subscribe. Go to YouTube, man, my channel. We pushing it. Like I said before, I'm gonna have some amazing guests coming up. I'm working on a young lady, beautiful young lady, man. Man, shout out to Danica Robinson. She's gonna be coming on my channel to talk about domestic violence. I'm sorry, guys. A lot of times I pause for a minute because I worked out today. I'm a little bit fatigued. But she's going to come on my channel and we're going to speak about domestic violence. A lot of times people get caught up in domestic violence and don't even know they in domestic violence, right? So we're going to have her on as a guest, and she can give you some pointers about what to do and what not to do, right? And that's what we got going on. Then we're going to have my niece coming up, man. Her name is Alexis. She owns her own business. She make balloons. She make the custom balloons. So I'm going to bring her on as a guest. And also, too, I have a twin niece. One of my twin nieces, they own, I think they 20 years old. One of them own an Airbnb, and the other one own a eyelash business. Shout out to Maya and Mariah. She had what they call a little area where she work out in New Carlton. Support her, man. If you need your daughter, you need somebody that needs some eyelashes or something like that, hit her up. Peace and blessings. You have a great day. I'll get back with you this weekend. And when we start actually physically moving in the building, we're going to actually go live. And plus, we're going to let you see the starting of the business. I mean, the beginning and the end. I'm sorry, the beginning and the end. We're gonna show you from the raw materials inside of the shop until once that we paint it and make it beautiful. Tell me what you think. Peace and blessings. You have a great night. Thank you.